let's move on to the next pair right now. The next UK oil, we're on UK oil right now. Like I used to say that we have a similar scenario with that which we have on the US oil, where price action is actually following the same setup. So if you are the selling opportunity that was taken on Tuesday, I guess, as finally it's our stop loss, and you will have taken at least around 100 pips on that if you took advantage of that move to the downside. So I want to delete all this one right now because it will be proper. We have a very clean chart to work with going forward. So give me a moment to do some cleaning here, and now, good. Remember, we identified this buying opportunity zone during the course of yesterday's live session, where I said we will be looking out for reversal pattern within that area to join the potential bullish momentum to the upside. And at the same time, during that same session yesterday, we identified this selling opportunity zone at around $116 area, where we said that if price does the reversal pattern and continue to the upside, we will be looking out for a reversal pattern within this area to take advantage of a trend continuation to the downside. I hope my kid is not disturbing. Hope you can still hear me clearly, right? Yeah, Chlimbo, yes. Pardon me, please. I hope it's okay. Hope it's not too annoying. If it is, I could quickly do some adjustments if you don't mind. It's not crying, it's playing. It's playing, it's blabbing. Zazuzi, good morning to you. Glad to have you around. Drago99, thanks. Okay, 114. Okay, this. Okay, all right. I'm glad to hear that confirmation. So let me move on to what I'm talking about before. So like I said, we were looking out for a bullish momentum here from the buying opportunity zone we've identified here during the course of yesterday's live session, where we said we're looking out for a reversal pattern from this area to move into the selling opportunity zone area, and we are looking out for a reversal pattern around this area to take advantage of a trend continuation to the downside. And this trend continuation to the downside might be massive and could probably give us multiple entries, as we do have a what's it called, a bullish trend line here, and also we have this area where price started this week at $114. As if price comes from this area down, then a retest of this area could welcome opportunities to add more position to this trade. So now that we are going to the New York session, how do we take advantage of this trade when it finally happens, or whatever perspective or whatever bias is going to come into play? So considering the reversal pattern we've seen here, you can see that we have something that looks like a double bottom structure here, just like what we have on the US oil. Price came into this area at $112.50 area and pushed further down, but was unable to break the previous low at $107, and we can see our price continue to find higher lows from those points in time. So one thing I want to be looking out for at this point is this. In as much as it's not very safe for us to buy around this area, as we already have a breakdown of that bullish trend line we identified on the daily time frame. We had a breakdown retest of that bullish trend line we identified on the daily time frame. Let me go to the daily time frame so that you can see what I'm talking about more vividly. So if we look at the daily time frame here, we can see our price has been respecting the bullish trend line since December last year going into this year. And since the beginning of this year, there was no point where price came below that bullish trend line, making that trend line a very significant line that could guide our actions going forward. However, during the course of yesterday's trading session, we saw a breakdown of that bullish trend line, which you can see we had a sharp rejection of this area, showing us an hint into the buying power within that area. So what I want to be looking out for, sorry for the breaking transmission. So we have a potential of bullish momentum here, as you can see the sharp rejection of the $105 area during the course of yesterday's trading session. So this is more or less, I'm looking forward to a break above of this bullish trend line, where I'm going to look for confirmation to join the bullish momentum if it happens. And if that does not happen, then this area, we'll be looking out for a retest of this area to join the decline to the downside. So let me go back to the 1 hour time frame, where we want to look at how to take advantage of any potential that shows up probably during the New York session. So with the double bottom structure identified here on the 1 hour time frame, definitely we want to identify a key level to guide our actions going forward. So if I bring out my line chart and we identify where our neckline is going to be, we are going to have it around $112.50. So let me label this for the sake of clarity. We have this area at $112.50 to guide our actions going forward. So give me a moment. Okay, so we have something like this. So just like the scenario we have on the US oil, we want to be patient enough to look out for the breakout of that key level on $112 area. That is, we look out for the breakout of the structure, a retest into that structure, then we look out for patterns on lower time frame that supports a trend continuation to the upside. So this is what we're going to be looking out for going into the New York session. And let's see, sorry, is this selling opportunity zone most appropriate? Let's see. We have this impulse leg. We have this impulse leg here, and we want to be running our Fibonacci retracement tool through this impulse leg and identifying the what's it called, the golden zone area, which is always between the 50 and the 78.6% retracement of the previous impulse leg. I thought as much. That area was not most appropriate for selling opportunity, so we want to have it around this area. So if we are taking any buying potential, that is during the New York session, if we do have a breakout and retest of the key level at $112.50, then we want to be having our take profit target within this area. So let's put this here, potential TP for buyers. So if you are a buyer, you want to take your profit within this area, as there is a possibility that we could be having selling momentum in the form of a reversal pattern here that could push price further down. So in the meantime, we want to be having, after confirmations, that is a breakout retest of the key level at $112.50, we want to be having our entry point right above that key level to be comfortable to take advantage of any bullish momentum from this juncture in the market. So what's all our take profit target be? We have our take profit target of about, let's see what that is. We have almost like 500, 600, 700 pips to catch on this one if price plays as expected. So this is the scenario we are having here, and we have our stop loss right below structure at this point in time. Remember, like I told you on the US oil, that your stop loss will depend on the point of entry, and where we enter will now determine where our stop loss is going to be at this point in time. So if our entry is right above, then previous low, previous structure should be an area where, below the previous structure should be an area where we should place our stop loss. So one thing I want to be looking out for in the following days or hours is that if we look left, we have a structure around this area that has been a demand zone in the past. We can see this area has held price supported for quite a while during the early days, during last week trading session, and it at this area became a resistance point. So what this simply means that if we have a break above of that area, it just gives us a clue into the buying power within that area, as buyers would probably have taken over or exchange button from the sellers at that point. So a retest of that area will give us further confirmation that buying power is becoming stronger from that area. That is, participants are finding that area very, very cheap to buy the UK oil. So this is my scenario here on the UK oil. Like I always say, we normally do have a a an opposite bias too as well to guide our action, as we can't just sit on a bullish potential only. We really need to look at the market from both perspectives and see and position ourselves in such a way that we are able to catch that move anytime it happens. So a bearish potential is also very possible here on the UK oil. If we look at where price started from on the 14th of June, we can see that price has been finding lower highs, lower lows, lower highs from that time, and you can see, which is evident on the chart with my visual representation here, and it is very possible that price could find another lower high to push price further down. So how do we gauge ourselves? How do we position ourselves to be able to catch that move when it finally happens? So the first thing we want to do is to connect this series of lower highs right now so that we can have a linear trend line to guide our actions going forward. So bringing out my line charts for a more specific data, we have this bearish trend line around this area to guide our action. We have a major trend line here. This is my first major trend line. I would like to give this a red to emphasize its peculiarity. And then we have another one from this area here. If we look closely, we have another one here, which I will be naming my temporary trend line, which I'm going to be making a little bit lighter compared to the previous line I drew. And so we have this one to be a dotted line, and this is what I'm having. So this is our yardstick going into the New York session. So we have two trend lines to work with here. So let me delete this. Let me delete this so that we can see things clearly. So to support the key level at $112 area, a breakout of this trend line here should give, you can see it shares a confluence with the key level at $112.50. So if we do have a breakout of this trend line, which also shares a confluence with the key level, a retest of either the key level or the bearish trend line could signal a trend continuation to the upside. And if we have a breakout of that bearish trend line, a retest could welcome a scenario where we had position to this trade. And if you look at the retest of that bearish trend line, it also shares a confluence with the bullish trend line we identified on the daily time frame, which makes this area a very sensitive area to look out for bullish momentum if we do have a breakout of that structure. So this is a scenario we are looking out for. Now the other scenario we are looking out for is this: a reversal pattern lining up with, I'm not going to look for a reversal pattern here because of the distance. We have a higher low here. We see we have this low here. We have a higher low here. Hold on. We have a higher low here. We have a higher low here, giving us a clue into the potential of the buyers in the market. So personally, I'm not going to be looking out for a reversal pattern here to join a decline because of the higher lows I just emphasized. I'll rather be looking for a reversal pattern on the major trend line here around something like this to push price further to the downside. So this is what I'll be looking out for. And if we have a reversal pattern on the temporary bearish trend line we identified here, then definitely I want to see, if we have this, a reversal pattern around this area, I want to see a significant breakdown of this area, a retest of structure to join the decline to the downside. So this reversal pattern still needs further clarification to confirm that a trend continuation is going to happen. That is, if we see a rejection of this temporary bearish trend line. So this is the scenario I'm having here, and really look out for So we have two scenarios on both pairs, on the UK oil and on the US oil going forward. So if you do not understand or you need further clarifications, you can type in the comment section. Let's look at this together, and let's see what will happen during the New York session. Schlimbo, why I find you. Okay, great. Thank you, Daramola. All right. I wish you all good day and goodbye. Well, I wish you good day too, and you're welcome as well. And I wish you best of luck during the New York session. Sabine sub night 69, nice. Okay, I'll take that as a compliment, I guess. 122, hi. How are you too? Slow network connection from M Jane. Is that me or you? Are you saying my network is slow? 2295, good morning to you. You came in a little bit late. We're almost close to the end of the session. I think we took too much time on both the oil commodities this morning. Vietnam is evening. Okay, it's morning here in Nigeria. Layla, you're welcome. All right. Let's move on. Let's quickly do some analysis on the currency PS2 as well. Are we okay there, bros? Oh well, we are fine here. We are fine here. All right.